1 million people. That's how many people died in 100 days in the 1990s in Rwanda. Ethnic violence between two tribes broke out, and one tribe decided to literally eliminate the other. When all the dust settled and order was restored to Rwanda, the court system had to figure out, how do you prosecute and bring to justice this many hurt and broken people? They realized that if they did the traditional thing and sought an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth, there was going to be nobody left in their country. That's when the Christian community stepped in with this idea of forgiveness as actually a practical resolution to a terrible tragedy. And the idea was to bring people into a different kind of justice. They called it restorative justice. And so all over Rwanda, billboards were put up. The billboard simply said, "Confess what you've done, the truth will set you free." And so people who had committed these atrocities, sometimes so brutal that they had murdered entire families with machetes or clubs, there had been rape, there had been maiming, these people started to come forward under all the guilt and shame and say, I was a part of that. I lost my mind. I did things that I regret. And the communities gathered in little tribunals, and they gave opportunities for people who had committed crimes to confess what they had done to the families and to the remaining folks, the victims of those who had suffered it. And in the pain and all the tears, a beautiful story of forgiveness began to emerge. A woman who had lost her husband, all of her children, her brothers, her uncles, literally in this massacre. A young man stood before her who had committed the killings, and in tears just confessed to the fact that he saw their faces every night, and the scenes of what he had actually done haunted his dreams, and he begged really for mercy and forgiveness. And she gently, with tears coming down her own face, raised the eyes of this man to her own and said, what you took from me can never be replaced. You've got to take the place of the ones that you killed. You've got to become my son. You've got to return to this place, and from the ashes, rebuild a life together where you'll return and love what you took in insanity. And these kind of stories of forgiveness became the foundation on which the Rwandan society began to rebuild and have a hope for a future. Now, as extreme as that all may sound, most of us will never experience the trauma at that level of hatchet-bearing murderers. But all of us hurt and get hurt in life. And we have to decide what we're going to do with the pain that has been done to us and how we're going to respond to the people who have hurt us. And the Christian message actually is that there is a path beyond simply finding peace through retribution. Bitterness and unforgiveness is a poison. It corrupts the inside of us. It steals our joy. It diminishes our peace. Sometimes it ruins our health. It drives us into even mental illness. And so forgiveness actually is not something that ultimately we only do to free someone else. Forgiveness is actually something, as Jesus taught us, that first and foremost frees our own heart, gives us peace, gives us the freedom to let go of the things that otherwise would destroy and diminish us, and to give us joy and peace. And I want to encourage you, as you think through practically the own wrongs that you've suffered, the people who have hurt you, the bitternesses and resentments that you're holding towards others, to ask yourself this question: who's really the prisoner of the pain that you hold? And if the answer honestly is me, choose the path of forgiveness. Move beyond, through your trust in Jesus, the present pain to the freedom that actually awaits through the power of forgiveness.